All right. So this was the one that was really smushed. It was like kind of like that. I smoothed it. We're gonna work with it just for the purpose of doing this. Maybe it'll come out really cute in the end. You never know. Just gonna try to get it as even as I can. Remember with these, you want to make it smooth inside and out. You want to make sure that you fill in any little areas. Like this happened when it got thrown, tossed, and then we're just gonna smooth it in. I think that'll help you along the way. Take your time on these. They're just little teapots. This one's the biggest of the three I'm making, so keep that in mind as well. It doesn't have to be this big. And I'm kind of pressing it inward because my last two coils are going to be going inward. I'm using a little bit thicker of coils for this particular one, like I said, because I'm going in drastically. And I did upload the video from class the other day on how I created these forms. Today we're just gonna finish them up. And I think I actually might wait till tomorrow to do handles. I think I'll just do lids today. So I'm gonna go in and I really wanna make sure that I am pinching this on, but I'm also pinching it in. Let me scooch over a little bit. But by pinching it, it's gonna attach it. I'm not pinching hard, just enough to kind of slowly squish the coil into the pop. Smooth these together. And as you get taller, just like the other one, it is going to be harder to smooth the inside. Do the best you can. Just make sure there's no crumbly pieces and you'll be good. Because that's really what we want to stay away from. No one wants ceramic crumbs in their teapot. Really make sure that you are smoothing this in, all right, because I do want to make it flat. Rest your hand in here. Do every few. Smooth it. I would grab a rib and then make sure you're kind of tapping it so that it rests down. And the two we're going to do today are kind of like a inset lid and then a cutout lid. And I'm going to do my cutout lid. I normally would do it with an X-Acto blade. I am just going to do it with a paper clip because I want to see if it works for you guys at home. Corn tools. What if I show this video like, I don't know, a year from now? Corn tools. I need to stop talking in my videos to the current audience. I have one video and it's like, I hope you can't hear those geese, and then they're like, ah, ah. I am. It is all on camera, yes. All right, really top it into shape. We'll go in, we'll smooth it at the end. I am gonna do one more coil in, and then I'm gonna do a coil going up. Let me try to smooth this out a little bit. All right, so one more coil in, then I'm gonna make a little lip on the top to put a lid on. I just can't believe these were like flung over to the side. I was looking for them. I could always tell, like, looking through videos and looking through my cell phone what year it is based on what color my hair is. I know, I gotta do my roots this weekend. I'm looking a little rough. All right, when you have a really ugly top like that, we're gonna worry about that the very last thing. We'll fix the top up on the last one. All right, so I'm pinching this in. I'm thinning it out when I'm pinching it. And guys, make sure you have your sketches in if you don't have them in already. And like I said, I'm talking, well, you know what? My future class might need to turn their sketches in, so. They might need to turn them in even more than you guys. Oh, you're right. Maybe you guys are very responsible. This class is so responsible. All right, this is the last coil I'm gonna smooth in. I'm gonna kind of even like tap it down a little bit so that I get a nice profile here. And then I'm gonna smooth it in. Just like anything, you can go in and you can use extra bits of clay to fill in some uneven parts. That is absolutely what I'm gonna do on this one, because it had a rough time. I was already having a rough time because it was so sticky yesterday. Now it's having a real rough time. But the key to making something go in like this is kind of just keep making sure you're pinching it and being careful with it, being delicate with it. And I always notice that my demo, like talking and doing demos, I always don't like what I'm doing. It's hard to talk in ceramic, especially when you're doing it quickly. The real me might take, you know, sit down a few hours, get a nice start to it, get it even. Smooth, smooth, smooth. And I'm going to just kind of tap it into place. So I have a shape like this. I'm gonna go in with a rib tool and I'm gonna really like get this into a good form. But first, for now, I want to show you guys how to do this type of lid. In order to create a cap lid or an inset lid, we're going to want to use a small coil to create something that we can then set a lid on. And I really want to just kind of sit and work on this. I'm going to smooth it up a lot for tomorrow. So you want to try to get this coil pretty even. You also want to go in and fill in any of like these little uneven parts in here. Try to make it a pretty good circular, or maybe you're doing an oval form. Ovular, I don't know if that's a word, probably not. Ovular form. All right. So this coil, rather than going in, is gonna go up. And I'm gonna rest it exactly straight up and down with what I have already. And it should rest directly right on top of the circle. Now when I smooth this, I'm going to be very careful because I want to have a very distinct smooth line. You could go in with a tool if you think it'll help you better. I would say, you know, your rib tool, a wooden tool. I'm using this right now, but so that you get a nice clean line around it. For this, you want it to go straight up and down. You don't want to have like just that basic smoothed in look. So hopefully you can kind of see that it is cutting off a little bit. I'll go in and smooth it and try to cut it off at the same area all the way around. Now what this is going to do is it's making a little bit of a ledge so that we can then put a lid on it, and it's going to catch both the inside and the outside. And I'm going to make the most petite pinch pot ever for this lid. Because I want it to be really short. I don't want it to be like the dome lid I made. And remember guys, these are petite, little petite teapots. Technically, do on the 8th, but if you are a junior, I'll take it up until the 12th. Because then we would have nothing to do. Alright, I'm going to go in now and I'm going to smooth that up. Just making sure I have a really nice separation, almost like the top of a bottle or something. And you can make any type of lid you want. I've had people make like little square lids before, but if you could see there, that little ledge, that's what you're gonna need. All right, to make this like kind of simple and quick, I'm gonna just do like a little cap, like circular kind of thing. And I'm gonna make a teeny tiny pinch pot. Yeah. Not even a pinch pot. I'm gonna just pinch out some clay and see what I want to do with it. But this is going to be the start of my lid, and then I'm going to show you guys how you're going to want to bend both the edges and then add a little inset. So yeah, maybe I will flatten this out a little bit. I've had people make like really tall lids before, you know, kind of sticking up like maybe like a little kind of triangular thing. You could really do whatever you want. Maybe I'll do that for this one. Maybe I won't. All right. I'm gonna go in on smooth. I'm actually gonna make cut out like a circular form. Now, traditionally, if you're working with a wheel thrown form, you would have a piece that kind of like sets here and a piece that sets inside. Hand built, you don't necessarily need to have that, but you could. And I have a feeling I'm going to make a different lid for this than the one I'm showing you now, just because I'm kind of going through the motions here. So ideally, this would fit over the top there, all right? I'm gonna pinch it out just a little bit, but like I said, I'm gonna make a new lid for it and I'll show you guys tomorrow. And now what we need is a piece to set inside here. That's really what's gonna hold the grip of it. Maybe I'll smooth that up. That's not bad. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. All right. So the last thing that you want to do, and usually I'll do a slab for this. We'll do a coil. It'll be fine. I promise. We want to make a coil that's going to rest on the inside of here. That's what's going to make our lid stay. So I always like to measure it. You're going to want it to definitely be smaller because the clay is going to shrink. You don't want to make it so that you're kind of like just sticking it in there when it is in a malleable form, because you could always like move it around. But once it's dry and once it's fired, you're not going to be able to adjust it. So I'm going to go with that because I am going to smooth it. You can see that little ring. And I'm just going to smooth it together. I always like to smooth this into my lid. Some people will just be like, boom, slip and score, wonderful. I'm gonna smooth mine a little bit. I'm gonna put it right there. I still do wanna touch up these edges quite a bit. But I'm gonna smooth this in the same way that I smoothed my rim on the top, because I want it to be nice and clean and sharp. All right, oh, this mask. I'm gonna smooth it in. And this definitely is so much easier on the wheel, throwing it. Yeah? Is it relaxing? And then ideally, your lid should fit pretty nice in here. I'm gonna just open this up a little bit more. And ooh. And it'll go right in there. And all right, I don't really have much wiggle room, so that's pretty good. All right, I might adjust it a little bit, but that would be like a basic lid. I will do a handle and spout on that tomorrow. This one, my last one that was supposed to be a sphere, but it got all kind of funky that day and it kind of flopped, so we're just gonna go with it. These, if you build a whole entire form, you could then go in and you could cut a lid out, doing something called a beveled edge. Now, if you were to just cut out the top of something, it's just gonna fall through. So we wanna cut it out on an angle so that you won't have to worry about that. I'm gonna go in. I think I'm gonna do something a little bit more abstract. And of course, thinking about like toppers for your lids, you would want to put something, you know, up here, but we'll talk about that more tomorrow. I'm gonna use a paper clip. You want to make sure that you cut it on an angle. So I'm putting it in just like that. And I am going all around. I am going to actually use the part I am cutting out as my lid. All right, so it's gonna need smoothing. I usually like to just go in and smooth up the outside first because that's the top and we want that to look really nice. And then just go in and any of these like little crumbly pieces, we're just gonna kind of pat them. Just pat them in place. And smooth it up. So now that you went on that angle, you have this little piece here that I'll clean up a little bit, but it will set directly on and it will be pretty seamless with your pot. All right. I kind of like this option, but it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna say we'll just stick to these lids today. Tomorrow I will do handles and spouts. I will film it, and then I think I'll have everything covered. So I have this one, seamless, this one, the cap lid. I'm gonna touch both these up tomorrow before I go in and finish. Oof. I'm gonna do a lid that a handle that goes over the top for this one with a smaller spout. And I'm gonna do some kind of like funky spout on this one and like a really weird handle. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I really don't like how it's coming out. That's why I'm gonna make it strange. All right, so that's that.